How you doing, love?
I'm doing.
Is it coming off?
It's coming off, but it is literally the stickiest stuff I've
Stickiest, dirtiest job.
It's the stickiest, dirtiest job ever.
Oh.
Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free.
This morning we have arrived at Be Smart Leisure in Telford because we are doing the next bit of work to Trudy. So we're going to get some electrical work done and replace the hatch on the roof and a few other bits. So let's go in and see Martin. So we're just gonna make a cup of coffee whilst we're waiting for Martin. Good thing about having a camper van. Home on wheels.
What are you doing?
It's little bits of paint from the spray job Tez did. Hold on. Yeah, it's still there. Should be alright.
Housework.
You're getting it done.
Get my housework done.
How long does that take you?
Quick job 5 minutes, proper job about 20.
Quicker than the old house, that's for sure.
We have come back down to Be Smart Leisure to catch up with Martin, who is part of the Tread team, because we have a few things that need sorting with Trudy before we go. One of the most important things for us is this roof light. It usually just opens and hinges up on 2 arms, but what's happened is it's actually broken. So now when you open it on there, it's supposed to be attached on this side, but actually it's just free floating. And in fact, when we were in Wales recently and it was really windy, it felt like it was being sucked out. So Martin is he's ordered a new one and we'll fix that in time. With time and UV sunlight, it was bound to happen with the plastic. Trudy is 14 years old. So we're going to get a new light there, so that's going to be really nice as well. And this is actually where Chris puts his head when he's cooking.
And the last thing we want to happen is for that roof hatch to blow off or something when we're driving across Mongolia or Kazakhstan, because finding something for that whilst on the road is going to probably be really tricky. So always best to get all those little niggles fixed before we actually leave. Morning, sir.
Somebody's caught me on camera already, I see.
Nah, morning, you right?
Morning.
How are you?
How are we both this fine morning?
We're fine and dandy.
Good, 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 good. So, right.
Ready to make this van even more beautiful.
Plan today is get that roof light out, get the new one in.
Beautiful.
And then whatever else we need to do.
You got the keys? I haven't got any keys. Can't start Trudy.
She can't bring the van in if she hasn't got any keys. Hold on, there's my coffee. Oh.
Well, I can always hook Trudy to the...
No.
To the big monster truck.
No.
Drag her in.
Leave my Trudy alone. No dragging my Trudy.
Martin's got Marianne working.
Awesome.
That was the nice easy bit.
Martin, you can't scare me.
No, I'm not scared of you.
Martin's setting a challenge.
I had 3 sons.
When I
And
say
round
that's
the
the
park.
nice easy bit that you're doing now,
Yeah.
the worst bit's on the roof.
I was gonna.
Is that your job?
That's your bit.
That's where a hammer, chisel and a very sharp knife comes in.
Yeah, because it's been glued as well, hasn't
Yes.
it? I can see a bit of sealant here actually, so it's obviously been sealed in, which is the right thing to do.
Watch it nice and gentle.
Jump up there.
There's definitely gluey stuff.
Yeah, it's only the
It's
seal
just
that
the
seals
seal.
through. Nothing major. There you go.
Look at that!
Amazing!
Now you've got 4 more screws to undo.
It's like the best kind of chewing gum ever.
So Marianne has gone up on the roof of Trudy behind me, and she's just gonna do all the sealant, take out all the sealant and the rest of the roof hatch, ready for the new hatch to be fitted. And she looks like she's having fun up there. She wanted to go up there, in case you're wondering why I'm not up there. Plus the hatch is probably quite a bit lighter than me. Not that I'll say that.
If anybody wants to know what our roof looks like, what Trudy looks like from above without a drone, check this out. We've got the 2 solar panels, one there and one there. And then we've got our modem is there, that's our modem. And then we've got our other window light here. The rust, there is rust actually, it's over there. It's definitely looking worse than it was.
If you break it, there is a new blade in there.
Okay. Beautiful.
But try, when you're doing it,
Yeah.
try and keep your blade tip, so sort of in there, so you're not gouging your paintwork out
Oh,
here.
right, okay. We've taken off the hatch, the gloopy black stuff we've removed with some razor blades and cleaned it off as much as we can. And now we have blue roll and a chemical thinner to be able to take all the black, gungy, gooey, sticky stuff off. And it is sticky as heck. So yeah, it's coming up a treat. And then we'll be able to attach the new one. So we'll show you the next stage later.
Good job, love.
Thank you.
So we're just gonna have a look at fitting a couple of spotlights just on the front bumper, so that when we're driving down bumpy roads, hopefully, we don't want to drive in the dark, but we might have to, that it will light up the road so we can avoid any potholes. So Martin's just gonna have a look and see how we can wire these up. So these are the lights that we're looking at putting on. Little LED lights that will be really bright in the dark. Good job. So we're just looking at the best place to fit these. If we put them on the bottom here, there's a little bit of flex in the bumper there. And if we put them on the top, we'd have to build some kind of bracket for them. So we think probably the best thing is to put them in the middle, either side of the number plate, and then we'll be able to adjust them slightly left or right, or slightly up or down. So I think we're going to put them in the middle here. We've also been discussing on whether the light should be permanently on when the lights of the van are on, or whether we should have a switch inside that we can turn on and off as and when we need them. And we've decided to do the switch because we don't want those lights on all the time. They're going to be bright. It's not nice for other drivers, and some countries, even England, they don't like you to have these sort of lights on all of the time. So we're going to put a switch in, which I think is a good idea. So we're going to have to take the front grille off so that we can actually get access underneath to be able to screw the light on. So we've got the brackets on, so now the next bit is to get the lights fixed up. So we fed the wire through from the engine and it should be coming out somewhere behind this dashboard. So we're just going to take the dashboard off to find the wire. It's a good job somebody knows what they're doing, because looking at all that wires looks worse than spaghetti junction. Push, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. Got it? Just trying to get the wire. Oh, you got it. Getting the wire through the duct in there. Good job.
This is your fuse board for the engine side of the vehicle.
Okie dokie.
Lights, dash clusters, and all other bits. And then you've got these centre fuses here, which are your spares.
Amazing.
Which ones are the spares, Martin?
Them ones.
Middle ones.
These middle ones run the opposite way.
So it's amazing what you learn. I know absolutely nothing about electrical stuff and fuses, but we have found that there are 2 blocks of fuses, one on each side under the dashboard, and there's another one located in the main engine under the bonnet here. And the fuses operate everything. So there could be a fuse for the lights, a fuse for the starter engine, a starter motor, a fuse for indicators, the radio. So on the road, we're going to be taking spare fuses, and in the handbook, there is apparently details of what each fuse does. So we're going to be checking out the handbook just to familiarize ourselves with that.
Whew. So that little bit's cleaned up and ready to go for the new light hatch. And Martin very kindly ordered us a new small light hatch, but unfortunately it had a netting over it, which was really good for as a bug screen, but it was permanent, and Chris needed to access his head into that space for when he's cooking, because I like my man to cook. And but fortunately, when I explained to Martin that this was an issue, he actually had another one that he ordered for his van that worked better for us, so he switched.
So we're just going to test the lights behind us. Yay! We got lights! Woohoo!
What do? Don't go touching anything white.
Yeah, I'll clean the edge of the bin.
Looking good. So you got that bit cleaned up, ready for the new install.
Yeah.
You're in a black t-shirt.
It is messy work, but I'm loving it. I feel like I'm a kid back at play.
Ah!
Martin's a legend. Martin actually is a legend. So we obviously will be going to cold and hot countries, and we mentioned to Martin that we had trouble with our fan, so he's had a look, and as he calls it, that's the puppy. So he's ordered a new part for us, and that will sit in. That is what was causing all the electrical problems. And whilst he was investigating, he came across it. So he solved 2 problems. So yeah, we are super delighted. We're going to have air that actually stays on. Good job.
So it's been really handy having Martin looking at the electrical stuff. We haven't got a clue. And he's spotted other things that need doing. He's sorted out our radio. He's shown us all the fuses. So it's been a really big help today going through that and given us some kind of understanding, because this kind of stuff, we haven't got a clue. But at least now we have a basic understanding of some aspects of it. That one,
wow.
That's the flight screen, that's that, and it pops open like that.
Wow.
Amazing.
And enough space for Chris to get his head through.
There you go, good job.
Back to cooking.
Well, that was a fabulous day, and like we said before, we've learnt so much.
Oh, loads, absolutely loads.
Loads, and the knowledge keeps coming. So we're heading back to Tread HQ, and we will be back again bright and early tomorrow morning.
Well, it's day 2 at Be Smart Leisure in Telford, and this morning we are going to be linking up and putting in an adapter for our solar panel. We have 2 solar panels on the roof, as we've mentioned before, but we've got an extra one. One of our kids gave it to us, I think for Mother's Day actually, so thank you very much. And we've got a removable, movable solar panel that we can put either on the steering wheel on the inside or outside leaning against the tyre, just to boost the solar if we need it, and it will trickle charge the main battery. So Martin's putting the adapter in, and we're going to get busy with that. But need coffee.
So we're excited. We've just got the switch delivered for the air system, the blow air in the van, because it wasn't working properly. So fingers crossed, that should fix the problem. Well spotted, Martin.
Should do.
There you go. That
Yeah, just touch it. That's how warm that gets.
it naturally gets that hot anyway.
It naturally gets that warm because it's resisting certain voltages,
Yeah.
so it allows the fan to be done at dual speed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it works on number 1. No, because you couldn't feel it.
That's
Beautiful. So the next stage is to get the dashboard cover back over the electrics. Let the jigsaw begin.
I was saying to Chris, I think whilst Trudy's been stripped back, it's really important to actually just brush, clean and dust everything off. That's good practice, and also any dust and things floating around in the air when you're sleeping can't be good for you. So yeah, we're having a good old clean. How's it going, love?
Going good.
Are you enjoying that?
It's good to learn and make sure you know how to do these things in case something goes wrong.
And that's behind there's got the fuse panels as well, hasn't it?
Yes. Big jigsaw puzzle.
Okay, so the screen that we have at the front, which is a reflective screen, and also it's like a dark screen as well, we have a small problem, and that is it's digging into the side of our van. It's already been like that, but I've noticed it's getting worse. So rather than living with it, we're going to actually take a centimetre off each end just to avoid that, and then I'll put some tape over it. So Martin has lent me a hacksaw.
Uh-oh.
dangerous.
Do you trust me with a hacksaw?
No.
So we're going to, I'm probably just going to take a bit there.
So another thing we're doing is we're actually changing all the window opening arms, because they keep getting stuck open and it's a real pain when you can't get them down. So they're quite old. So we're just going to replace the ones that come with the van, just to make it easier. The last thing we want is a window stuck open in the middle of nowhere that we can't close. So one of the things, we've got the new arms, but actually the distance between the 2 holes on the catch doesn't actually match the 2 holes on the window. So what Martin has very cleverly managed to do is he's popped off with a screwdriver the catch on the old one and put it on the new one, so it now fits. But that's something to be aware. You can actually swap them over. They just clip on.
That's really clever, actually.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
very clever, because you wouldn't think so, and you would think that they're standard size, but they're not. So you can actually see that is the new one and that is the old one, and there's quite a big difference between the distance of the 2 holes here.
Well, everyone always says about the carbon monoxide alarm and fire alarm, and I was just talking to my brother-in-law and I was explaining that it's right above the head and it keeps flashing in my eye, so I've actually got a post-it note over it, and he said your carbon monoxide alarm is above your head, and I was like yes. And at that point I've just found out something really important. We bought the van with the carbon monoxide poison alarm above our head, where I've just found out it should be down below. So speaking to Martin, he's lent me his drill, and I'm moving my carbon alarm monitor, which was up there above my head next to the fire alarm, and I'm actually moving it to below the he said get it about bed height because it sinks lower and builds up. So I don't know if you know that, but I'm sharing that tip because as a motorhomer and a van lifer, it's important to know where your alarms are so that you're safe. So let me show you. And now my carbon alarm monitor is going to fit down here, so it's nice and at the right level. And here it is, before it would beep and flash in my face. And now it's going to be down here, which is the right place. So we are back at Tread HQ, and we had a fantastic time filming and working with Martin at Be Smart Leisure. We have learnt loads. The thing I wanted to show though was we have an external solar panel that we use to, or we will be using to boost our engine battery. So what we've done is rather than connecting it through the 12 volt of the cigarette lighter, Martin's actually wired it up straight to our battery, and he's very tidily tucked away down the side the little adapter that will plug straight in. So let me show you. So this little adapter is just tucked tidily away into this area here, so that's a really good job done, and we'll be using that loads, I'm sure. I didn't see the bell. The bells.
So if we're on the road and we have any electrical problems, I'm going to be WhatsApping, video calling Martin and asking him which wire to cut.
And his reply will be, step away from the vehicle.
Step away from the vehicle and run. Don't jump.
But it's so beautiful.
Mint that does.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Hi, did I get the job?
So,
No, not your cleaning.
Oh.
The fact that it sits in the hole good. Is that down to her cleaning?
he's being cruel now, isn't he?
It's being cruel.
I'm not being cruel.
You do a good job.
He did do a good job, yes.
Thank you. I was saying to Chris, before we put anything back together, we should actually clean it, because it's just good practice in it, isn't it? To get in it.
In it.
Car. Good practice in it.
Start again.
You can clean mine if you want.
Oh, how much you paying? I'm available.